Humbled to be here on episode 32 of jpmusic. Um, so, I will take the time to tell y'all just a little story and, really catching up full circle with where I'm currently at, what I'm currently working on, and you know, little things that I care about and matter to me, that I'm willing to not just go out of my way, but understand these little things are part of the process to what has molded me to the being that I am now, which automatically gets me to invest my time, my effort, my energy into pursuing. So get right into it. These last, let's say, 6 months, almost on the dot, right? As New Year's is around the corner. I started out just writing, right? And I was writing, free writing, but very not as refined as it is now, very loose, very unstructured, just putting the pen to the paper, really the fundamentals, and free writing in the form of rhymes, and I did that for about a good month and a half straight of consistency, and that sounds like nothing, right? But understand the importance that of everyone having to start somewhere, right? Some people are gifted, some people are talented, but it's the ones who know their process and understand that consistency matters and putting in the work matters, and can only that get you to the place you need to be and evolve into the person you need to be. I was writing, right, for a month and a half, and it wasn't perfect, but I knew I had to take that leap of faith, and it felt like the right time to take that chance and to begin to cultivate the ideas in the form of planning and as best as I could at the time, and diving into the process of becoming. There's a Bible verse that says, "Do not despise the days of, humble beginnings, small beginnings." And I took that to the bank and ran with it, really crawled with it, right? Those were the infant stages of where I've come from, and truly there's more backstory to it, but just speaking of the last year, with how not just swiftly, but how quickly things have happened and evolved and elevated, not just from a professional and writing level, but from a place of growth as a human being and evolution. It seems like those infant stages really helped me and grew me to step into my power and who I really am, who I always knew I was. But now I was having the inner conversations first and foremost, and seeking the knowledge outside of myself to connect and tie those dots. Tie those, really untie those knots, but tie one and one together. And, you know, things were starting to happen as I started to gain that knowledge and apply it to understand myself and apply it not against, but, you know, towards my purpose with a purpose, and to set the foundation of, true intentions that got me to the point where I'm at now. And, you know, a month and a half in of that consistency, you know, I caught another insight. I took the chance. Prior to that chance, right, that month and a half, one idea, one bar, a couple words, one thing led to the other. And, I started working on and having an idea, but started working on a project that I had in mind with a set date to finish the project, that I had thought of, which I believe would be a gift to the world if I had did it and accomplished it. I took away all my wants, purified my desires, and those wants and desires became a necessity. And so I started really hunting that goal with patience and process and understanding. Again, month and a half of writing, just free writing, rhyming, playing with words, playing with bars, pertaining it to real life. Then I jumped into the project aspect of it, and I started writing more critically, with more thought and more patience, more effort and energy. And, I got to a point where I was really content and really enjoying this process of writing. So, I drew up a game plan. I drew up the blueprint, which now I'll speak on, of what this project would consist of and the substance I would write on. Wrote that up, drew that up, began executing on it, knowing this wasn't the final, the final project. And I knew I would come back around to detail it and to refine it in due time. But just to get a rough draft and rough ideas out there to, go back to in time and refine it and work on. And, life happened without saying too much. Still stuck to the code, still stuck to my morals, my beliefs, my principles. Kept writing through that, even after I had finished, cultivating those pieces of work, that rough draft of a project and the substance that would go into it. Finished that. Then I went on go. I went on go mode. began writing and putting out, began writing more in depth and freely, you know, more fearlessly, more vigorously, more with zeal, and again applying lessons and knowledge that I was gaining throughout this process, which is always what I'm going for as a human being before an artist, a musician. I'm always hunting insight, hunting knowledge that I can apply towards these gifts that I have, and one of them is writing. And I began documenting these pieces and putting them out to the world through social media and the internet, and through me getting in front of the camera. This is really not a performance for me at all. This is just my truth. So it's very authentic. It's very genuine. Its foundation is built on freedom, not bondage. So I was just doing what my heart was telling me to do, in my spirit, from my soul, and I was speaking from my soul, and I got in front of the camera and I would write these pieces, get in front of the camera, speak them, again, to the best of my knowledge at that time. And we've come we've come very far from those moments, and they're etched into my existence and memory, wholly, right? As in totality, not something that just happened and I forget it. These are some things and lessons and knowledge that I remember, that I'll take with me till the end of time. And everything that comes with it this is the basis. This is the foundation and origins of my process. So I got in front of the camera, spoke these pieces, put them out with no fear of, judgment, criticism, punishment, and you know, uh, handled all those thoughts, all those feelings, and put them into proper place, and the the proper box that they belong in, compartment that they belong in, right? And things got better and better from there, right? That started clearing a lot of things in my soul, helping me find a lot of self-knowledge, knowledge of self, regaining knowledge of self, right? And really honing in to understand myself to a T of what I knew about myself. I just didn't understand the process of myself yet, which now I do, right? And, that's part of my process. That's part of my being and who I am, to write these pieces as often as I can, put in the work, and give them to the world at scale and at speed and with speed, because I don't simply overthink the repercussions or how they're received. I know the right audience and the right people will connect and receive them in a way that I had intended and hoped for. And all of that comes down to me taking the chance, and those individuals and those people over time, from 1 to 10 to 5 to 10 to 50 to 100 to 500 to 1,500, etc., etc., 3,000, 5,000, and the numbers just keep going and they don't matter. As long as truly, I'll tell you simply, I'm connecting with one person who needs this work that I do and the art that I create and these thoughts and experiences, knowledge, advice, counsel that I give through my art and through my music. As long as it connects with one person, to give them the motivation, the inspiration, the hope, until they take the chance themselves to create and transform their mindset and their heart, by speaking their soul and through their spirit and living through their spirit, just as I have, then I am more than content and will forever be willing to do this work that I do, not just with passion, but with discipline and zeal and, righteousness and those right intentions that I had set and were set from, the get-go, and were only refined. Which leads me to right, stumbling upon these things that I had overlooked in my life, that were the lights illuminating my soul, leading me to my spirit from my heart. And, yeah, yeah. I, around 3 days before Thanksgiving, I hit a new stride, reached a new insight, began executing on on that insight and new ideas, that were all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this is simply in truth. That's my foundation, right? So I, hit a new stride, hit a new level around a few days prior to Thanksgiving, and I've been rolling with those punches and that ball since, until now, where I believe, and not believe, and think, I know, I've reached a place in my writing where it's so concise, so truthful, so earnest, honest, so direct, so authentic, genuine. Someone used the word unapologetic. I just call it fearless. To speak my heart out and don't give a second thought to what could, would, should happen if I put this out. Those anxieties, and this is not out of desperation, which I remember years back, it certainly was. Again, this is simply in truth and alignment, and I can feel it. It's a feeling, truly, that I do my best to communicate which is another gift of mine that has also been refined through this process by doing shows like this and other shows that fall under the umbrella of truth that I, I don't believe I need in my life, but I believe need me because they are a core part and pillars of my being. They are truth and they are founded on and in love. And that being said, I've gotten back to those pieces. I'm in the work of refining those pieces that I had created as rough drafts. For the records of my projects, and I am writing from a place of a newfound level and have elevated to a newfound space of writing and creating music, art, writing records, and the substance is simply, again, truth and potent to my path of life that is the narrow, simply put. And that's what I care to say and tell y'all about my process today. And how far we've come and how far we have to go. I have absolute curiosity and I'm so inquisitive about how far I can take this, simply based on the power I know I have. And now, with the right intentions, with great power comes great responsibility. I'm responsible for. And I'm hunting that God through these gifts, being present with these gifts, and we will see how far. And I have hunches and I have beliefs and I think about it often, within good reasons. But I'm more into the work and into the process. I'm so into that thing, and we will see. Aside from that, it's at the forefront and the back of my mind, and it's on the tip of my tongue. A song that I'm searching for. So I hope putting out this energy, I'm hunting it. And I believe and think I will find it in due time. But it's right there. I see my old blue iPod Generation 5 Nano with, the case, the see-through clear case, with squiggly drawings all over it, like notebooks, pens, squiggly lines, stereo, boombox, music symbols, and I see a couple songs surrounding that one song on that list of records, and that one song is like blurred out in my conscience. It's right there on the tip of my tongue, at the forefront and back of my mind, and I hope to meet it in the middle, and I know I will one day. And me just saying that, I can feel it. Again, it's right there. And I hope me putting out this energy and continuing to, and making the effort and taking the time to hunt it down will bring me that fruit from what I'm sowing towards it. And that seems like something so minute, something so small in this process, so minuscule. But it's things like that that mean more than the world to me, even more, than the work that I put in these gifts that I have to share with the world, and first and foremost, share with my people that need me and, are omnipresent in my life. This is episode 32, I believe, of jpmusic. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.